Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Owlboy. So this thing appeared, so I need to pull it, and it's a golem. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. So apparently there's some robot owl technology just hidden. And I'm not hearing any kind of ticking or anything, so I don't feel like there's really a timer on this. But there's a timer on my life, so I'm gonna speed roll and try to get through all of this. This is the third time we've been in Topaz. And this is the central location where we can get our upgrades. We've gotten half of the upgrades. We could potentially do this. I guess we... So we can't rest this time. Good to know. This day-night cycle's way too fast. Way too fast. So we teleported out of the room, and then we came over here and activated the teleporter to go back in the room. Which kind of makes me wonder if there's going to be 2 more castles with 2 more teleporters that all end up having us go back to Topaz. It seems like that might be the case because this temple's so big that it's really 2 temples in one, and the doors open magically when we teleported there. Okay guys, it seems there's more to this place than the blob monster thing. There's no telling what we'll encounter ahead. Not to worry, Master Giddy, we've had some great progress. Isn't that right, Master Otus? I think he's in a teleporter coma. Hey buddy, it's going to be okay, man. I'm always going to be there for you no matter what. Now let's go. This place is nothing for the likes of us. And see, I really feel like if you had to swap between the different characters, and sometimes you played as Owlboy, and sometimes you should play as the green guy, and sometimes you played as the pirate, you could have improved the gameplay a lot. There's a game called Triad that recently failed miserably in doing that, in making a sequel to the original Triad, which was liked. But then the sequel was way too short and unfinished. You again. I don't know how you got past the defense system, but there's no way you're getting this relic before me. Let's just grab it and see if we can really get it. We're like wiggling it and everything. And it is crammed in there. And apparently these guys can survive being in lava. But I can't. Interesting. And I was at full life too. So we go through these rings, and they don't disappear until you got the last one. And that tells us we're now in the floating continent Molten instead of jungle. So we've got a whole another temple. I'm hoping this temple is completely different from what we had before, because what we had before kind of was awful. What does this do? Oh my, I recognize this language. It's written by an ancient owl. Let me read it for you. Clearing out The continent has taken a while, but we can finally begin our work. The work from the abandoned temple has paid off, and we have been able to make the local wildlife part of the theorem solver. We'll augment them and make them excavate with the automations. I estimate that within a few decades of excavation, we can begin construction. So these owls strike me as not particularly caring species. Smart, sure, but they seem to not really care about other life that much. They just use it. Let's see, the only thing I can do right now is just wait for it to refill. And then I missed, so I have to come and refill it again. This item is just like the other item. It goes up and down the same level you're at, so come on. See, and that just takes too much work. That's too much work just to get through one room and then die in the next room because you hit the lava. And then have to start all over again. So now I don't know if the game has registered that I read the thing. Wait a minute. This works. So if I can roll into a thing and then spin, it's easier than what I was doing before. And at least but you can definitely see my life is like, I just got a life upgrade too. This is ridiculous. Like, what's the point of getting a life upgrade if you can't even make it through one area? Just fly around these people and and apparently the rings don't disappear. Like, these won't disappear until I get them all. Which probably means I don't get them until I get them all. Which, okay, fair enough, that's a different way of doing things. For a game. But we're kind of seeing some difficulty spikes in the game, and it's finding ways to frustrate me. Killed all of them and didn't give me anything special. Let's activate this one. Oh my, I recognize this language. It's written by Ancient Owl. Let me read it for you. There's been some infighting and some main architects have left the project. They've been banished from the continent and work continues. The light cradle is operational and we have all the power that we need. Construction of the hex machine itself has been delayed due to the immense complexity of the structure. I hope we will see construction begin in my lifetime. And we did this really early in the game, spinning downward and turning the screw. And that was easily 4 or 5 hours ago, though, of gameplay. At least it feels like it. And I was worried this game was barely going to have 4 or 5 hours of gameplay in it. The spinning screws element is fine as a gameplay mechanic. It works perfectly well. It's just, there should have been more of it. Let's come over here and activate this just to make sure. There we go. So now we know we've read that. And now we move clearly to this next section. And yet another enemy introduced. Well, bumping him seems to work. Yeah, but bumping me seems to work pretty well too, so I don't know what the best way to go about this is. And I already have enough here to go back to the middle section and get the next upgrade, which would be an increase in gun ability. I think we kill all the monkeys here. They're a new enemy. They seem to be killable pretty easily. I guess the enemies just need to drop hearts. Some of the old school ideas for, you know, old games like Nintendo games are, yeah, we just need hearts to drop. And that would work. So we're in what looks like a room where we need to activate some more things first. Interesting, there's a screw on the ground, and then there's a screw hole, it seems. The hex machine is beginning to take shape. I'm not sure if anyone fully understands the design anymore, but initial tests have been successful. The light cradle is over capacity and we are drawing power from the continent itself. We will fire up the hex machine with a few years when the relics are charged. I wish my father could have been here to see this. So, is it that the hex machine and the light cradle have been pulling the continents apart this whole time? Cheap hit there. Completely cheap hit. How is anybody supposed to be able to see that? Grab this screw. And we fly down here and drop it, and then spin. And that's half of it filled. Did we miss something down here? Yep, we did. Like, this game is gonna have to give a map. If it's gonna keep my interest at all in collecting everything, it's gonna have to give me a map with an indicator, something that shows and tells me where everything is, particularly since there are rooms that give you treasure chests when you defeat enemies. Like, even if it gave me invincibility instead, then I could just fly around with no ability to take damage. I don't think I would be happy with that. Let's run over here, grab this, eat it. I don't think anybody particularly likes a game where you're constantly on the verge of dying. It's a disaster, it's a disaster, it's a disaster. It's a disaster. It goes on like that for a while. Okay. Now this time you have to be a little careful. Just spin when the fire is not going. And see, doing this, did I just accidentally release the artifact for the bad guy? Or did I just accidentally activate a big monster? I guess I'm either going to activate a big monster or simply get the artifact. I wouldn't be upset if they just gave me the artifact. Like, we've done the boss fight several times. They're not being done well. It's probably pretty easy when programming a video game to spend a lot of time making boss fights and getting over invested in them. But this is definitely a game that could have easily done without all of them and had more puzzles instead. How curious. These displays are showing some schematics along with a log. It says, the hex is complete, the world is destroyed, looping. The world is destroyed? What does that mean? The hex is complete, the world is destroyed, looping. Well, the world is definitely still out there. I wonder what the owls were doing here. It sounds like the work of madness. I don't want to stay in this place any longer than we have to. Let's just get to the relic before Dirk does and get out of here. So it is a time mechanic. Surprise, surprise. Not really to me. It's felt like we were gonna have something like that. It's a giant gorilla. This feels way too Donkey Kong. It's a giant gorilla with a couple of small extra arms. And don't touch the lava. And as typical, you never can get a full overcharge. There. Skip this. Are we trying to destroy the ground, or are we just trying to shoot all these monkeys down? There's such a just return of well, not return, knockback, I guess is the right phrase to say, where if anything hits you, you end up falling. Am I gonna have to kill all the monkeys? See, they just knocked me down. Like, so maybe if I just stay in this area? No, because they grab you and they pull you down. So... maybe there's a spin out of that or something? Or maybe it's just vitally crucial not to hit any of these monkeys anywhere near you. Just don't let the monkeys near you. Stay away, monkeys. And I guess we kind of know how many. And I apparently you can roll out of them grabbing you. But you have to be very careful. There's 2 more to deal with. 3 more, apparently. Roll out of this. They're still doing a massive amount of damage to me. 1 more? Where are those other monkeys coming from? That still doesn't help. So, take note, the game's not teaching me any of this stuff. I'm just having to figure it out. It did give me extra health this time. So, it does feel like there might be a pity system programmed into this. Maybe I could use a shotgun shot every now and then. Switch. Wait till these monkeys arrive. And fire. Bring some more around. Yep. If you can get really good at switching between the two. There we go. Take note that my health is at the maximum right now. That's not a coincidence. That is because the game took pity on me and made the fight easier. Which kind of makes you wonder, like, unless you beat every fight on the first try, you're probably not having the full difficulty experience that you could be having. I guess, yay? I guess the monkey doesn't want any more fights from me. And these, I think, are new rings showing up. Die. Let me eat this. And let me eat this. Yeah, I should just be able to walk over the food. Or maybe food is one thing, but hearts are another thing. How are we doing? Let's see. Floating continent molten. Like 246. We only got 240 in the jungle. I wouldn't be surprised if we're close to being done. Wow, we might just get everything at this rate. So can we grab this and pull it? No. And down here is nothing, so are we gonna fly up? That item is gone. Let's just run. Maybe we've figured out a way to, like, this is a whole level though, like, and we don't need a boss fight and we don't need an escape fight back to back. This is something you would do in a... Nope. It's something you would do in a movie. It's not something that works particularly well in a video game. I need some falling action, and I'm not really getting it. And so we come out of there, and is lava gonna pour out of there? Otus, are you alright? We need to find a way out of here. I think we're in over our heads. Let's look for an exit, Otus. Is the ground shaking? Let's get out of here before it's too late. Oh man. We just fought the monkeys. And he just knocked me completely to the side. Is any of that? Apparently I can do damage, but it's got to be on the top of his head. Giant worm. These aren't bad ideas for boss fights. If if that's what this game was going to be, but is this how Kid Icarus games played before? Were you flying around collecting coins or something, and then doing a bunch of boss fights? And I guess this is kind of a slightly in-between mix of what you would probably have done on a 2D Metroid game and what you would have done in Metroid Prime. Because Metroid Prime, let's be honest, the boss fights were pretty much disconnected from the platforming and item collecting elements of Metroid Prime. Whereas the 2D Metroid games, you're still firing super missiles and super bombs and jumping around and shooting. Let's go ahead and skip this. Even when you skip it, it doesn't matter. And it really feels like we're probably just going to die a bunch of times on this character until we get that easy end. It feels also like there's only 3 more locations. If we add up the total number of extra coins, that's close to the maximum we needed, because we needed 2,000, I think, and there's exactly 2,000 coins listed here, unless I'm miscounting. Maybe I am miscounting. There's more than 2,000 listed here. So we must have needed a little bit more than that. And I guess the key does something. It would be really ridiculous if the key turns out to be the key to the good ending. Anyways, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.